NHL 24 is out for 6 months and we have 6 months left in the game cycle. And NHL 25 is not even released, but everyone already thinks that the game will be disaster. So today I will talk about the things I believe we need to see in the game for game to be saved. Hi YouTube and welcome back. We all know that NHL 24 didn't meet anyone's expectations, so today I just want to talk about things I believe we need to see in NHL 25. I will only share my thoughts, so if you didn't hear some of the things you would like to see in the game, make sure you put them down in the comment section below. The first thing I want to cover is the content. At the moment we have 3 days content, and to be fair, there's a lot of things I don't like about the content. Maybe I'm a little bit selfish, but I also don't like the time the content is being released. Only North American people can actually see the content live. Everyone from Europe and the rest of the world really needs to wait for the following day to actually see the new cards. If the EA could move the content by 2 hours, I think it would please more people, and actually when the content drops there will be more people online ripping packs, and in general that would bring them more revenue. Also, the quality of the content is really bad. We was thinking when the EA announced and they will release the content only 3 times a week instead of 5, we'll see more quality. Now, at least this year, we saw probably one of the worst content ever released. The same cards are receiving Team of the Year, the Team of the Season, and all and on. There is really no variety. If you want to go and build your, let's say, teams, there is not enough cards out there for you to do it. Same about the content and the progression. For example, Fantasy Event was very good example. The progression should never be the way it is. Another thing regards the content, let's talk about the Fridays content. Not only then the MSP choices this year was disaster and multiple players receive multiple MSPs, I would like them to move away from these Friday content drops for 2-week events. The way how the content is being structured at the moment is not really working, but because we have the same type of content for the last 5 years, community is just getting bored. The new content should be released in the type of the programs. So for example, at the moment we have objectives. So you have to complete all the objectives to get the reward. You need to go into the sets if you want to make the card. I just find it very overwhelming. You have to go into the one place, then you have to go into another place. Why just don't release one event as a program? In the end of the program, once you complete all the, let's say, objectives, you receive a free MSP of your choice. I don't know, put a choice pack and everyone can choose one. I also would like to see a loan cards coming back. If they would release the events as a programs, somewhere in the middle they could release, let's say, a loan cards, maybe for 2-3 games. So people by grinding the objectives could actually go and try out the MSPs before they have to make a choice. Also, in that program, I would include some packs. All this would be a guaranteed instant rewards and people would be interested to actually play the game when the content drops on Fridays. I would make these programs unlimited so you can always come back whenever you want. At the moment, when we go into my collection and we see event items, I would add something similar, but we would have all these programs so we can always go back and actually complete them. Yes, I do agree that some of the programs probably should be time limited, like Team of the Year, maybe Team of the Season, but every other one I would just have ability for people who pick up the game later in the year to go back, grind those objectives and still grind for those free MSPs. The next thing we definitely need is a new mode. You can only play squad battles, champs and rivals for so long. I don't care if it's draft champions or it's a comp seasons or anything. We definitely need a third mode. I probably would say that we have champs over the weekends as a weekend league, then we would have a classic rivals on a side, but then we would have, let's say, draft champs. You could pick it up any time of the year. You don't really need the good cards. You could just go and draft the players. You could also try them out. I think it would be a good one. I also like the idea about the comp seasons because if they come back, it means we have to actually build a team around it. Salary cap mode would be also fun because then we would need to use lower overall cards, something we don't use at the moment. It would also help with auction house and making some cards more valuable. Let's say they release event as a program and they link mode for the comp season into that event. So we actually have to go and, let's say, use 88 overall cards. So that means at that period of time, those cards will go up in the auction house. It would help the market and actually people who are trying to make some coins without spending any money. I also would like the new mode to have a win-based rewards. I am really sick of all these. You have to play 50 games and hope for the best. You basically cannot get into the ultimate if you don't win a lot of games. I want to allocate my time the way I like. If I have a lot of time over the weekend and I need, I don't know, let's say 25 wins to get to the ultimate or whatever is the end goal, I just want to grind those 25 wins and get my reward. I don't want to play 50 games and then think maybe some kids who don't have to go to the school actually can play more and they can end up with more wins or whatever it is now. I just think it's quite boring. Every other sport games have win-based rewards. Only EA NHL decided that you have to play with an XP and some kind of point system. And of course we also need the leaderboards for the champs, for the rivals, and for any other mode. Maybe some people think that leaderboards are not needed. I personally don't need leaderboards, but I like to go and see who I was playing before, see their team, always have some kind of evidence of who I was playing. Let's say I want to report someone. I cannot even do that because I cannot find who I was playing before. Next thing I want to touch is XFactors. I personally believe that XFactors should be the best cards for that player in the game. Every team should have one player assigned with an X-Factor. Let's say Connor McDavid for Oilers, Panarin from Rangers, and so on. That card should be the best card for that player all year long. Maybe only Team of the Year should be better. Also, I don't understand why we still don't have changeable abilities. We can change the synergies, but we cannot change abilities. Let's say they release Connor McDavid with, instead of wheels, but I don't know, unstoppable force. So I want this card to allow me to actually change from wheels to unstoppable force without making an MSP. So at the end of the game cycle, this card will be a fully 99 with at least 10 different abilities you could always change and build your team around. It also would keep the value for X-Factors a little bit longer, because at the moment we only use the X-Factors early in the game and then we use them to trade them in for Team of the Year, Team of the Season, or any other high overall MSPs. No one really invests in X-Factors later in the year. Again, if you're just starting out or if it's your favorite player, absolutely. Some people still use X-Factors even now. But if you're playing from day one, not a lot of people really keep an X-Factor in their team. Another thing about the X-Factors, I would like, maybe not every single MSP, but X-Factors and power-up icons. When you look at the tiers, tier 1, 2, 3, and 4, you have to use coins or you have to use power-up collectibles. I would like EA to actually allow us to upgrade these cards by completing some of the objectives. Let's say Connor McDavid is scoring a lot of goals, so let's make this card. Any upgrade will cost you 100 goals. I think it's fair. People would grind in the squad battles, in the rivals, in the champs. People would actually use these cards. So you have to score 100 goals with Connor McDavid and you unlock to the next tier. Let's say you use Hedman's X-Factor, for example, and you have to block 100 shots or whatever you come up. Make objectives so people are interested of trying out these X-Factors. It also would allow people to use more X-Factors. That monthly X-Factor pack would be more useful, and actually probably we would end up with more people using X-Factors all year long. If we go back to the content and how the events are being released, I hope we will see Season Pass. They did implement that in the World of Chess, so I don't see any reasons why we would not see the same type of Season Pass in Hockey Ultimate Team. That could include all the daily and weekly objectives and all these small things they ask us to do. So everything we do in the Ultimate Team, we would earn XP. The more XP we earn, the more objectives we complete. I probably would release new Battle Pass or whatever they would call it every single month, so there is something for people to grind. That Battle Pass could also include objectives like, I don't know, play squad battles, win 20 champs games, or whatever. Depends on the rewards. All those rewards should also be instant, and there would be something always on the side for people to play. EAFC have the Battle Pass, Madden had the Battle Pass, every other sport game have it. Only EA NHL decides an Ultimate Team don't need it. I also believe that we need to sacrifice Hut Rush for anything else. I don't think the mode was actually designed exactly how it is now. At the moment, people would just go and play that to get some free gold cards. It's a good mode to go and try out new deeks and stuff like that, but really no one would play that mode if not for the rewards. If they implement the Battle Pass, if they implement new mode, I don't think anyone really would go and play Hut Rush. I'm a huge fan of team builders. I know a lot of people don't really like team builders and they think it's a waste of cards, but I probably would change the structure of the team builders a little bit. First of all, I would probably release a 99s on day one. Give us 2 99s, I don't know, make the best team builders out there so people can actually grind. The same as we have in MLB. You have the live series collections. So I would probably switch that into NHL and try to achieve the same goal. You get, let's say, 1 99 or 2 99s on day one by completing every single collection. And by completing every single collection, I probably would say you need to collect every single card from every single team. At the moment, we have to collect certain amount of 74 plus overalls and 80 plus overalls. I would put every single player in this collection. So for example, for Edmonton Oilers, I will need to collect Draisaitl, I will need to collect McDavid. It would be very pricey. The cost for those cards will kept up all year long because the end reward would be really good, but this would keep community engaged, so every card would actually have value. So if you pull a duplicate card, you actually can go and sell it because there would be a demand out there. By completing every single team, you will get quite a good start. Again, team builders would probably be very good for someone who spent a lot of money on day one, but also in the longer run, for the people who don't spend any money, this would give us a good rewards. Now let's talk about the latest addition to Hockey Ultimate Team, Hut Moments. The idea was great. I like how they changed that now the moments don't have to be played fully. Once you complete the objectives, you can actually go out and play the next one, but I don't think EA fully understands the definition of the moment. Moment has to be something very short. When they are asking us to play 3 periods in one game, that's definitely not a moment. And also that moment says you have to win a game, so it's not like they're giving me 3 periods to score 1 goal. Yeah, actually have to play 3 periods. That's definitely not a moment. I like how with the help of moments they're trying to give us a lot of free cards this year, because we really never saw EA so generous in the past. But let's be very honest. More than 50% of the community cannot even complete these moments. You have to play on Superstar, you have to grind a lot, and yes, a lot of people are Division 1, a lot of people can get 15 wins in Champs, but we also have to remember that this game should be more casual friendly. You cannot even spend money to get these cards. So for example, I won that free Sir Nurse. Okay, those were the easiest moments, so pretty much everyone could possibly complete them. But if we talk about Taylor Hall or even Niches, it took a lot of time, or even more skilled players, to get those moments done. I'm not saying it should be easy and should be quick, but I probably would change the difficulty to the more time consuming. Make it longer. For example, if you're good at the game, make people more difficult moments, but also for people who are not good at the game, make it something more time consuming. Tell them to play more, but they still can get that. There is a lot of people out there who didn't complete single moment for those free cards because they just cannot complete them. I probably would ask community to play a little bit of moments, which would be quite easy, maybe on a pro, all-star difficulty max, and then have some objectives. Maybe in objectives you would ask us to open 7 daily logging packs or whatever, and that would also give you some collectibles. Just give opportunity for not so skilled players to also receive these cards. And again, before you guys start to kick off about yes, you want everything easy and for free, look at other sport games. I shouldn't be logging in and sweating in these games. It should be fun. I already paid money for it. So if EA is deciding to give me a free card, then I want to have the same opportunity to get that free card as everyone else. I will not cover anything gameplay related because I think gameplay is very subjective. I personally think that gameplay was actually decent this year. The only thing what really let us down was the content and lack of actual ideas in the Hockey Ultimate Team. It was only exciting the first 2 months, then basically everything just went downhills and there was really no any excitement left. Yes, we are still excited on Fridays to see new MSPs because in the end of the day, everyone is looking for that favorite card and the card they could use maybe in their team. But other than that, is everyone really excited about the events released on Friday? If you are, let me know why, because I just maybe don't get it. I don't think I was excited about a single event after Team of the Year. And the last thing I want to talk about, which actually does involve a little bit of gameplay, is the goalkeepers. They need to find a way how to make smaller goalkeepers more usable. If it's an Ultimate Team, it means I should be able to use my favorite players. I know there always will be more meta players who are maybe not that good, but there is no way that I'm unable to use Shestyorkin in my Ultimate Team because he is just unable to make save. The way the game is designed, they just need to fully rewrite the code because Shestyorkin cannot make any save just because he don't cover anything in the net. Okay, those would be the main things I think we need to change in Hockey Ultimate Team for NHL 25 to make the game a little bit more enjoyable. I believe some of the things we will see in NHL 25 because in the end of the day I don't think they can release the same game again. But whenever I say that, EA basically hears that and says watch me. But again, we have 6 months to wait and hopefully we will start hearing some NHL 25 news very soon. Let me know down in the comment section below what would be one thing if you could change in Hockey Ultimate Team not related to the gameplay you would implement. I hope you enjoyed today's video, have a good one and see you on the ice.